Okay, listener, you asked for it. There is kind of a story there. No, I never got to spar Nate, but it wasn't from a lack of trying. So there's this scumbag boxing promoter in San Francisco. His name's Ty Poblet. And Ty sniffed around me and he saw that like my family had money, and I couldn't get rid of him. And he was a completely faux trainer, like I've talked about with MMA trainers now, and it's even worse in boxing. They're complete hustlers. They don't have any idea what they're doing, but it doesn't really matter. All they have to do is say they're a promoter, just like a pimp doesn't have to say anything. But hey, I'm a pimp. I'm your boyfriend now, right? So anyway, Ty would say to me, "Hey, you want to spar Nate?" Because Ty was trying to get in with Caesar really badly. He wanted to be Caesar Gracie's boxing coach. And Caesar's a smart enough guy. He's seen a million guys like that where, he'll let you hang around, but he's not going to pay you anything. And he's not going to force fighters to go with you. Like, you want to hang around and be there, fine. And since Ty Poblet really didn't do anything for a living beyond pretending to be a trainer, he hung out for a long time, right? So he would say to me, "Hey, do you want to spar Nate?" I go, "Yeah, man." And Nate sparred a couple times boxing at Polk Street Gym where I used to teach. So I'd rush down there with my gear and my equipment ready to spar. And then nobody would put me in the ring with him. And I'd be like, "Well, what's going on?" It took me a little while to realize that this was all like Ty Poblet scam. Now, one part of the scam was I think Ty thought I would be scared to spar Nate Diaz, which doesn't really make any sense because, I was a big guy then. Like, sparring Nate wouldn't have been a big deal. But, they were smart enough not to let big guys go with Nate or near Nate. I mean, he was worth a lot of money, right? He was a, pro MMA fighter in big fights. They're not going to risk some big jalopy like me or hurting him or whatever. So I did that like 2, 3 times, and I finally realized like what he was doing. And then it was funny because Chris Lieben came up to San Francisco to see Jake, and I met him a little bit. Didn't spar with him either. I watched him spar with Jake real lightly. And then Ty goes, "Yeah, I think I want you to spar with Chris, not Nate," which I guess obviously was a reference to size. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I mean, Ty was such a wreck of a person and such a lunatic anyway. But listen, I did meet Nate a couple times at Gills. Never spoke really much words to him. He's a very friendly guy. Always smiled and shook his head, nodded, took pictures with people. I never got a picture with him because I'm not a fanboy like that. Like, I don't care. You want a picture with me? I don't. So, yeah, those are my Nate Diaz sparring stories, the sparring that never actually occurred. And it makes me laugh a little bit. But anybody who actually knows the fight game, look, guys, there's pro boxers that are world champions that are smaller guys. They don't want to fight me. They know they can't, right? Like, the problem is, all the things they do to cause damage doesn't hurt me, and everything I do hurts them. So that's why weight classes are so important. That's why size is so important. And I imagine that's one of the reasons I never got to spar with Nate Diaz. But there it is. Everybody read my book, Warrior of the Light.